let's talk about a story that, not too long ago, had the entire world holding its breath. It's a story about survival against all odds, about incredible bravery, and a rescue mission that everybody thought was completely and totally impossible.
So we're going to break this incredible story down into 4 parts. First, how they got trapped. Then, the desperate search for them. After that, the absolutely wild plan to get them out. And finally, how it all ended.
All right, let's start at the beginning. Section 1, the trap. This whole thing kicked off on a day that was supposed to be just a simple, fun adventure for a bunch of kids.
Yeah, for the 12 young guys on the Wild Boar soccer team and their assistant coach, this was just a normal day. They were off to explore the Tham Luang cave to celebrate a teammate's birthday. It was a place they'd been to before, a place they knew. And this is where everything goes wrong so fast. A sudden monsoon storm, totally out of season, just hammers the area. The water inside that cave starts rising at an incredible speed, completely sealing off their way out. Their only choice? Go deeper and deeper into the dark, hoping to outrun the water. So now we're in section 2. As word gets out that this team is missing, a massive, almost frantic search operation kicks into gear. But right away, they hit a wall. I mean, the cave itself was practically fighting them. The floodwaters were raging, the water was so muddy you couldn't see an inch in front of your face, and the passages were this twisted, nightmarish maze. Even the elite Thai Navy SEALs, who are experts in the open ocean, were in a whole new world here. Their skills just weren't meant for these tight, terrifying conditions. The effort was just monumental. To give you an idea of the scale, engineers were pumping out 10,000 liters of water every single hour around the clock. They were trying to literally drain a mountain. And here's the kicker. For all that work, even more water was pouring in from the soaked mountainsides. It was heartbreaking. They weren't just racing against time. They were in a losing battle with Mother Nature herself. But you know, this crisis sparked something amazing. A huge global response. People from all over the world. Engineers, soldiers, thousands of volunteers, and most importantly, cave diving experts, they all started flying into this remote part of Thailand with one goal in mind. And really, the game-changing moment came from a local British guy, a caver who knew this cave system like the back of his hand. He went to the Thai authorities and said, "Look, you don't just need divers, you need the absolute best and most specialized cave divers on the entire planet." And he was right. After 9 long, agonizing days, with the whole world fearing the worst, 2 of those British divers, Rick Stanton and John Volanthen, swam 4 kilometers deep into that flooded cave and found them, all 13 of them alive, just huddled together on a tiny mud bank in the pitch black. But that unbelievable moment of joy, it lasted for about a second, because it was immediately followed by this terrifying, crushing question. Okay, they're alive, but they're weak, starving, and trapped miles deep inside a flooded mountain. How on earth are you gonna get them out? And that brings us to section 3, the dangerous plan. The clock was ticking. They were literally running out of air inside that chamber. So every single option, no matter how crazy, had to be put on the table. The first few ideas were thrown out pretty quick. Waiting months for the rains to stop, that was a death sentence. The oxygen was dropping to deadly levels. Drilling a new way in? Impossible. They couldn't find a spot. Even a specially designed mini-sub was a no-go. The tunnels were just too narrow and twisted. And then, the reality of just how dangerous this mission was hit home in the most tragic way. Saman Gunan, a former Thai Navy SEAL, an incredibly brave and fit man, died while delivering oxygen tanks to the boys. He lost consciousness on the way back. And everyone thought, if an expert like him can't survive the journey, what chance do these weak kids have? So they landed on a plan that was, well, it was insane. It had never been done before. An Australian doctor they brought in, who was also an expert cave diver, initially said it had a 0% chance of working. The plan? Anesthetize the kids, knock them out completely, and have a team of divers pass their unconscious bodies, one by one, through hours of flooded, zero-visibility tunnels. Which brings us to the final, heart-stopping section, mission accomplished. What happened next was a 3-day race against the clock, against the monsoon, against all the odds. It was this unbelievable assembly line of pure heroism. Day 1, they brought out the first 4 boys. The next day, 4 more. The world was just glued to the news. Then on the final day, July 10th, they rescued the last 4 boys and their coach. and they got them out just hours, literally hours, before the next massive downpour hit, which would have flooded that cave beyond any hope of rescue.
18. After 18 days trapped in absolute darkness, every single one of them, every boy and their coach, was brought out alive. It was the number that nobody thought they'd ever see.
You know, this wasn't just some miracle. There were real reasons they survived. Inside the cave, their coach, who was a former monk, kept them calm by teaching them to meditate. Think about that. It wasn't just about staying calm. It slowed their breathing, conserved precious oxygen, and stopped them from panicking. And on the outside, it was that incredible collaboration, the courage of people from all over the world, that made the impossible possible.
In the end, a statue of the hero who gave his life, Samangunan, was built right at the cave's entrance. It's there as a tribute to his incredible sacrifice, for sure, but it's also a powerful, permanent warning, a reminder of an unbelievable human triumph, and of how thin the line between adventure and tragedy can really be.